Good morning to the respected client representative, panel members, and everyone present. We are Netsen Consultancy, the appointed building surveying consultant for this project. Next slide. So this is our organization chart, and I am Wanur Anis, which is the risk management consultant from Netsen Consultancy. Next slide, please. So our firm was established in 2017 and specialized in risk management, building surveying, safety assessment, building condition assessment, and asset management. As the appointed consultant, our responsibility is to assist the client in assessing and managing risks that may affect building safety, operation, maintenance, and long-term asset performance. So our vision is to become a trusted consultancy company in Malaysia, while our mission is to provide professional service through systematic inspection, assessment, technical evaluation, and practical risk mitigation strategies. Next slide. So, uh, our service and previous experience is NetGen Consultancy provides key service such as risk management consultancy, building condition assessment safety and compliance assessment, emergency planning and response, and technical reporting. We have also been involved in more than 30 building related projects including commercial, institutional, mixed use and high-rise building. So our previous work include risk assessment, hazard identification, safety inspection and risk mitigation planning. This experience is relevant to Merdeka 118 because it is a complex high-rise residential building with high occupancy and advanced building system. Next slide. So the project overview, the assigned project is Merdeka 118, a 118-story super tall mixed-use skyscraper located in Kuala Lumpur with an approximate height of 600 to 950 meters. The building mainly functions as Grade A office space and also include a hotel, retail podium, observation and deck food and beverage outlets and basement parking. So from our consultant's perspective, Merdeka 118 require a detailed risk and safety management approach because of the high mixed-use function and high number of occupants. The risk importance. So the risk important. Why risk is important? Based on our preliminary assessment, the key risks include long evacuation time, fire safety challenges, lift failure, facade maintenance risk, crowd management, traffic congestion, and emergency vehicle access. Therefore, strong coordination is required between the building owner, facilities management teams, tenants, visitor, DBKL, bomber, Dodge, police, ambulance service, and utility provider. As the appointed consultant, our role is to prepare a comprehensive risk management plan and emergency response plan to ensure all risks are properly identified, assessed, controlled, and managed. To conclude, Merdeka 118 is high value and complex building asset that requires systematic risk and safety management to protect occupant, visitor, and business operation. That's all for my part.
So moving on, as part of our consultancy services, we conducted a preliminary risk assessment for Merdeka 118 to identify potential risks that may affect the building operation, occupant, asset and overall business continuity. The main objective of this assessment is to identify these risks at an early stages so that appropriate mitigation measure can be implemented before they develop into major incident. To carry out the assessment, we adopted the ISO 31000 risk management framework, which consists of 5 main stages. We firstly identify the risk, then analyze the likelihood and impact, followed by evaluating their level of significance. After that, we recommend suitable risk treatment measure, and finally, we continuously monitor and review the effectiveness of those control. Based on this framework, we classified the identified risks into 7 main categories. which is strategy risk, financial risk, operational risk, technical risk, environmental risk, health and safety risk, and lastly, security risk. This category provided a comprehensive understanding of the potential threat faced by Merdeka 118 and served as the foundation for the hierarchy assessment that will be presented in the next chapter. Then, moving on to our finding, we identify 4 critical risk categories that require the highest priority due to their potential impact on safety and building operation. Firstly, operational risk, which include lift failure, HVAC failure, and water supply disruption. Since Merdeka 118 accommodate thousands of occupants every day, this failure could significantly affect daily operation and user comfort. Secondly, technical risk, involving electrical system failure, building management system or BMS failures, and fire protection system failures. These are critical building services and any malfunction could disrupt operation and compromise occupation safety. Thirdly, health and safety risks such as fire outbreak, working at high during maintenance activities, and emergency evacuation challenges due to the building height. Finally, security risks, including cyber attacks, terrorism threats, and unauthorized access, which are becoming increasingly important for modern smart buildings like Merdeka 118. We also carry out a SWOT analysis to evaluate the building internal and external factors. The building key strengths include its advanced building management system, modern fire protection system, and multiple backup utility system which enhance operational reliability. However, several weaknesses were identified, such as high maintenance costs, complex building system, and the challenges of emergency evacuation in 118-story building. Looking at the future improvement opportunities include adopting artificial intelligence, smart building, and IoT integration, and digital twin technology to improve predictive maintenance and operational efficiency. On the other hand, the main threat are cybersecurity attacks, climate change, and terrorism, or public security threats, which require continuous monitoring and preparedness. In conclusion, our assessment indicate that technical, operational, health and safety, and security risks should receive the highest priority as effective management of this risk is essential to ensure safe, resilient, and continuous operation at Merdeka 118. This assessment will also serve as the basis for our detailed hierarchy analysis in the next one. Thank you.
Okay, now let's look at how we scale our strategy into active field execution. So identifying corporate level risks is just a baseline. Protecting an iconic asset like Merdeka 118 requires a sharp move from policy into tactical ground safety. So due to the extreme vertical heights and complex technologies here, a minor mechanical oversight can rapidly escalate into a major operational crisis. So generic safety rules simply will not work. So our mandate with this risk register metric is to eliminate guesswork, optimize your facility budget, prioritize hard engineering controls over basic PPE to safeguard your assets and human life. Next slide, please. So, to give your management team absolute operational clarity, we deploy the hierarchy framework as our tactical engine. We do not treat safety as a static piece of paperwork. This is a living life cycle tool that enforces a unified compliance standard across all your third-party subcontractors on site. So the mechanism relies on 3 strict pillars. We actively hunt for physical high-rise hazards, mathematically quantify the risks to remove human bias, and enforce robust barriers before a technician even steps into the floor. This is how we guarantee operational resilience for the tower. So let's review the actual hazard identifier. Next, please. So moving directly into our field finding, our team audited 12 core facility management operations across the asset. To ensure absolute objectively, we quantify every single threat into a standardized matrix to isolate your highest liabilities. As you can see on the screen, your highest operational red flags are concentrated at the upper elevations. Routine facade cleaning and structural spy inspection carry a high risk rating of 15 due to the catastrophic nature of high altitudes, wind loads, and lightning strikes. So, this task will automatically trigger a hard administrative lock, meaning your crews cannot deploy without a verified permit to work. Meanwhile, core engineering utilities like high voltage switch room maintenance and confined space entries sit in the medium band but carry severe potential for flash fires or blackout if left unmonitored. So this data allows your team to direct resources precisely where a failure would cripple operation. Next. And finally, how do we neutralize these operational liabilities? Our philosophy strictly avoids a basic resilience on safety gear. We prioritize a robust hierarchy of controls to secure your infrastructure. Wherever possible, we push for elimination, such as deploying high-resolution drones for routine spy scans, so your engineering team doesn't have to face gravitational hazard at 678 meters. We substitute standard chemical cleaners with fast-drying, sleep-resistant compounds to protect the public from sleeps in your premium marbles lobbies. Furthermore, we introduce heavy-duty engineering and administrative framework, including independent overspeed governor lift brakes, strict lotto electrical isolations, and mandatory permits to work. PPE is strictly treated as our last line of defense. This comprehensive ecosystem guarantees that Merdeka 118 remains both legally compliant and operationally resilient. So, thank you. I will now pass to the floor to the next legal specialist.
Thank you. Now I would like to explain the legal requirement that govern the construction of Merdeka 118. As one of the world's tallest building, Merdeka 118 involves high-rise construction activity such as deep excavation, heavy lifting, working at height, electrical installation, and confined space work. So the first legislation is Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994. This act places the responsibility on employers to provide a safe working environment by implementing safety management system, conducting regular training, providing appropriate personal protective equipment, and ensuring workers follow safe work procedure. The second is legislation is the Fire Service Act 1988. This act ensures that the building comply with fire safety requirement during both construction and operation. Merdeka 118 must be equipped with the fire alarm, fire extinguisher, emergency lighting, fire resistant material, and proper emergency escape route. Lastly, the Environmental Quality Act 1974 focus on protecting the environment throughout the construction process. It regulates issues such as dust emission, noise pollution, construction waste, and water pollution. So next, okay, I would like to explain the regulation, guideline, and compliance requirement that govern the Merdeka 118 project. On the left are the key regulation and guideline. Firstly, the construction, design and management regulation 2024 or CDM regulation 2024 define the responsibility of the client, designer and contractor to manage safety from the planning stage until the project completion. Secondly, the factory machinery regulation 1970 ensure that all heavy machinery such as tower crane, hose and lifting equipment are inspected, maintained and operate safely. The project also follow the HIRAC guideline, which stand for hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control. In addition, those guidelines provide the safe work procedure for high risk activity such as working at height, scaffolding operation, crane lifting, electrical work, and confined space entry. Finally, mission standard establish the electrical requirement for structural work, mechanical and electrical system, and fire protection to ensure the building meet national quality and safety standard. On the right is the legal compliance metric. This table summarizes its legal requirement, its purpose, and how it is applied. Specifically, to the Mereka 118 project. For example, OSHA focus on the Occupational Safety and Health. The Service Act cover fire protection system and emergency response, while the Environmental Quality Act ensure the effective control of dust, noise pollution, and construction waste. In conclusion, compliance with this regulation is not only legal obligation, but also help minimize risk, improve construction quality, protect workers and the public, and ensure that Merdeka 118 is delivered safely and successfully. That's all from me.
So moving on to the next slide, which is the strategic emergency framework. The building directly on the legal compliance framework just established, our team was appointed to assess the complete Menara Merdeka 118 project and deliver a comprehensive risk management and emergency response plan. At 108 stories, traditional evacuation tactics are completely incapable due to vertical limitation and prolonged descent time. Therefore, the emergency operating procedure we designed prioritize three strict objectives. The first one, which is preserving life, mitigating panic to prevent stairwell bottlenecks, and protecting this 5 billion national asset. Operationally, our plan aligned perfectly with OSHA duties and the Uniform Building Bylaws (UBL). We have verified that the tower holds an official fire certificate from Bomber. For major incident, our crisis management plan activates the dedicated crisis management team led by the building manager. They operate from a smoke isolated backup power emergency control center with real-time tracking matrices to ensure zero communication lag. So moving on to the next slide. The active deployment for our emergency response plan, we focus heavily on eliminating data latency. The tower's internally safety infrastructures uses the advanced SPKA system, which link directly to the bomber control center. Sensor strips bypass manual verification loops entirely, broadcasting real-time telemetry straight to emergency dispatchers. So to prevent catastrophic staircase gridlock, our plan reject traditional all-out models. Instead, we implement a phased evacuation system. Immediate evacuation is amended strictly for the immediate impact zone. The incident floor, 2 floor above and 2 floor below, everyone else follow a strict defense in place, standard behind 4-hour fire rate barriers. To move high zone occupants safely, we coordinate the usage of 89 lift, specifically deploying specialized occupant evacuation operation (OEO), a lift engineered with water resistant shaft and independent power. Evacuees are then guided to an external assembly point safely outside the tower's footprint. Seamlessly integrated with KL's city's care disaster plans. With this framework, we ensure Menara Merdeka 118 operate the highest global standard of lifestyle. So for the based on our assessment, the main risks identified are fire outbreak, working at height, lift failure, electrical hazard, and a critical system failure. These risks must be managed properly to protect occupants, visitor, and business operation. Therefore, we recommend the client to strengthen the preventive maintenance, especially for lift, fire protection system, BMS, emergency power supply, HVAC, and facade maintenance equipment. We also recommend using digital monitoring and predictive maintenance to detect early failure. Regular fire risk classification exercise, safety training, and crisis simulation should also be conducted to improve emergency. So overall, Merdeka 118 should maintain a proactive risk management system to ensure the building remains safe, efficiency, and reliable. Um, so um, that concludes our presentation on the risk management plan and emergency response plan for Merdeka 118. On behalf of Nexen Consultancy, we would like to thank you, the client representative and panel members, for your attention. We are now ready to proceed with any questions or discussions. Thank you.